And now, fight fans, we are set to go. Once again, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds at a catch weight 174 pounds. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight 175 pounds. A veteran of 35 professional fights, he brings 24 victories and 11 defeats into the cage. From Chelmsford, England, here is Jack the Stone Mason. And next, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in 171 3/4 pounds, this 21-fight veteran has 19 victories and just 2 defeats. He fights out of and represents Manchester, England. Please welcome Arish. Referee in charge, once again, Rich Mitchell.
So Rich No-Nonsense Mitchell stands between the two fighters. We have Jack the Stone Mason in the white wrestling shorts, Ali Arish in the white with the black band and the black knee neoprene pullovers. Set for 3 fights.
Let's see if Mason can be first to the punch here, try and put... He's got excellent boxing, we just don't see it all that often. He did for some time fall into a bit of a counter-punching mode. But if he can come forward with that real aggressive, bulldogging style and put pressure on Arish.
Well, Arish is ranked number 8. Jack Mason ranked number 10. So very much all to play for on the rankings here.
I mean, Arish, when he last fought on Cage Warriors, was 11-1, so a massive prospect then. Now at 19-2, I mean, it's a phenomenal amount of experience.
Mason sticking that jab in the face of Ali Arish.
Again, you can see Mason knows there's probably a shot coming from Arish at some point. Doesn't want to overcommit too early with these strikes. I suspect that's why he's still a little tentative early on here.
Well, he's just got to keep working that lead left hand. Got to keep the most amount of distance and just be aware of his hips. Both of these guys so thick-set and powerful, as you would expect from wrestling stylists.
I mean, Jack Mason does have a very tight squeeze, very good guillotine as well, so if he gets the opportunity, he may well try and jump on that.
The Maguire brothers, Tommy and John, UFC fighter in the corner of Mason. Oh, and a big straight right, rattled the chin of Ali Arish. He's not easy to put away, however.
No, I mean, his only other loss is to John Hathaway, so that should tell you something. And as soon as Arish closes the distance and gets inside...
He really swept the legs away of Mason. Yep. Made that look easy, but Mason gets back to his feet quickly.
Oh, wow.
Only to be dunked down again.
Turned on that single so quickly, made it look almost effortless. Did I see some palm strikes from Arish as well, as Mason was trying to stand back up?
Well, they're all legal. He's like side-footing the buttock of Mason. Mason looks to get back to his feet. Arish winds up a right hand.
Arish keeping his hands very, very low at the moment.
Well, it's typical of a wrestler, but it does leave him susceptible to getting tagged.
Yeah, Mason needs to start putting some straight shots together here. He needs to start making Arish think twice about closing that distance. At the moment, he's not throwing any punches.
The Tsunami corner saying that Mason's waiting for Arish, which is true. There's no feints coming from Mason. It'd be interesting to see how Arish is going to respond. There's some good movement, though, from Mason. He's still light on his feet. Arish just stalking down his man, however. Just a little side note, Josh, 39 years of age, the Iranian wrestler. It's such a fantastic achievement to be competing at this level at that age.
Yeah, very, very regularly as well. I mean, you know, stepping in here on shorter notice, but at the moment I think he's perhaps just in the head of Jack Mason a little bit. That being said, I know we're saying Jack Mason's not throwing punches, but neither is Arish. He is, however, trying to put some wrestling combinations together here and completes a very good takedown.
Yeah, went for the single and then took the standing leg. I've not seen Mason being taken down like this before.
Yeah, he's not easily grounded. He's normally the guy stuffing someone else into the cage and putting him on the back and really you know, short shots to just wear them down. But right now, Arish is the one putting the good combinations together in the takedowns. And here just hanging all his weight on Mason, just trying to make him carry twice the body weight.
Yeah, now she's trying to pull Mason's legs apart. You know, not take him off balance.
They're very good wrestlers at Jack Mason's camp, but Arish right now is really showing a step up in skill, and I think Jack Mason's got to look to the hands here.
Well, Arish does tire, and we can see he shot from a little way out there. That was a bit laboured.
Yeah, didn't set it up with the hands and came from a very long way out, and you saw Mason got his underhooks in place, managed to stuff it very easily. So, you know, a long way still to go in this fight. A few more of those, tide may very well turn.
Arish showing his hand a bit early there. 20 seconds left in this opening round as Mason jabs through with a good straight left. Really got his shoulder behind that one. Wants to be careful not to stand and admire those too much and get right back so that he can avoid the imminent shoots of Ali Arish. Oh, he's really throwing with big, heavy leather. Well, that closes up the first round.
Yeah, a bit of a slower pace to that opening round. Both guys just kind of feeling each other out there. I think, obviously, Arish with the significant moments, some of which hopefully we'll see now.
Yeah, we saw Mason double jab right hand, which works, but Ali Arish, he just connects his hands together so well.
Watch when he turns on this single when Mason stands back up. He makes it look so effortless and so easy. Here we go. Just pulling the legs out.
Yeah, it's very powerful frame. An obvious textbook technique. And it makes it look very, very easy indeed.
Oh, lovely pick up on the single and chopping across the thigh with almost a hip tossing motion. It's not pretty from...
please. Seconds, let's go.
Well, this is a very strategic battle.
Yeah,
now.
it is.
Two wrestlers, one world-class, the other with bundles of MMA experience, who can win a fight in many areas. This is the second round of that contest. Who have you got in that first round? Let us know. Hashtag CWFC 57.
Tell you who I've got. I think Ali Arish took that one. It's good to see Jack
movement there from Arish.
Good to see Jack Mason
shoots in.
Trying to be first there, and he completes a takedown in well on the hips. You see Arish looking almost for a switch there. Manages to sit his hips out, trying to get back to his feet. But this is a good change up from Jack Mason, trying to be the aggressor here.
Absolutely. Arish is patiently waiting to get back to his feet.
You can see that grip Mason's got on the opposite ankle of Arish. He's going to look to really pull that leg out and take the base away.
That base is going to be very difficult to shift.
I mean, it's one thing to put someone on the floor, but you've got to keep them there.
Yeah.
And with someone like Arish, who's going to be so well versed in, well, just any wrestling position, standing back up against the cage is something he's going to have practiced thousands of times.
It's a good position from Mason. He does it very well, his center alignment. If you watch his spine all the way through to the cranium, it's so very straight, driving right through the center of his opponents.
See if he can fire that jab out a bit more, try and close a bit more distance. I want to see Mason throw that right hand as well.
Oh,
there we go.
Good 2-1 from Mason as Arish stepped forward. Really ate that, but he got in quick on the single.
Yeah, good defense from Mason. Turned away, limp-legged out.
Arish is faking now the takedown and going for a strike.
I mean, his hands are so low. Mason just needs to come forward, really try and put some straight shots together. And always
Mason's very powerful, but it's not quite as snappy as some of the guys in the division, maybe like Danny Roberts, who might be able to get in and out a bit quicker, but the powerful frame, well, I say that was a pretty quick...
Yeah, really good double jab there, hit both targets.
Good strategy, I think, for this very tricky wrestler who looks for that takedown from a little far out again.
Mason's looking for this guillotine, good knee. Arish puts the hand down to sort of play the game a bit. Of course, no knees to the head of a grounded opponent, but Mason, we've seen this position over and over. He did it to Colin Reuter in his last fight, just bearing all the weight down.
Yes, he's very powerful, very strong grip from the Tsunami fighter.
Do you know, one of the funny things that his teammates have said to me about his guillotines is he actually has quite small hands, so he's able to really get them under the throat, get a grip, and then start, as you can see, this very athletic squeeze he's got going.
Well, he's very technical as well, Josh. You can't take that away from him.
Absolutely not.
And with that kind of powerful frame, he combines it very well, using his physical attributes to his advantage.
I mean, here he's going to be clamped on Ali Arish so tight. But this is the kind of thing he needs to do, land these strikes, and then stuff the takedowns and just bear some weight on him. And all of these things are going to be stacking up on the judges' scorecards. It may not be too much damage, but it is control and it is dictating where the fight is.
It's a good spearing jab, and it's a proper jab as well. Notice how he fires it from the shoulder and brings it back. Not out from the side with the elbow. That's going to hurt when that gets through.
Again, trying to push the face away. Arish trying to chop across, and Mason doing a very good job of defending these takedowns now.
Yeah, finding his balance, getting back to the feet.
That's one thing to remember, John, is that it's not just takedowns completed that score, it's defensive grappling. Can you stop the other guy trying to implement his game plan?
Mason was stopped in his tracks there. They exchanged jabs. But I'd like to see combinations from either of these guys now. String a couple of punches together. Upset the rhythm.
Well, Arish faking the shot there. It's a very strange stance he has, kind of head forward, hands down, really hoping his opponent will overcommit and he can get in on a single or a double.
Last 30 seconds of round two. Mason still light on his toes. Ali Arish very much planted, ready to shoot in at any given moment. Mason forcing his man back with the jab. Using that right hand to parry, sees the danger. Arish looking to feint and shoots. He's got Mason with his back against the fence. I feel that's where he wants him, so that Mason hasn't got anywhere to go, and sometimes it's harder for that lateral movement to get out of danger, especially with these wrestlers who can hook you from round at awkward angles.
Well, that's a much more interesting second round there. Let's see at some of the replays, because there was a bit of everything in that one.
So Mason seeing this man come forward and pushing that right hand right onto the face. I mean, that double jab was very nice too.
The way you've got to look at this round, John, is, you know, Mason had the longer periods of control in moments like this. We see now that front headlock series. He defended nearly all of Ali Arish's takedown attempts. So that's defensive grappling, and he landed some good strikes on the feet. So for my money, this is 1-1 going into the third round.
A very important third round then. Both fighters seem pretty mobile in their corner. Jack Mason was light on his toes towards the end of the round, but I think Ali Arish's style doesn't lend itself to be very bouncy.
No, certainly doesn't.
Let's go.
So, third and final round here at the Echo in Liverpool. Commentators John Good and Josh Palmer. Cage Warriors 57.
Well, you can hear the corner of Jack Mason just shouting to him again and again, be first, be first. And it's what we've been saying all along. If he can put those hands together and start landing them early, it gives him a much better base to work from if he puts Arish on the back foot.
Mason using that lead left hand, jabs and hooks. Ali Arish with tiny steps forward.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to be huge, thunderous shots. He just needs to be landing, scoring shots, and then defending these kind of takedown attempts from Arish.
Oh, that was a big left hook from Arish as Mason had turned his leg out of that single. Arish, with his planted style, thrown from the hip, that's a very jarring hook that he throws.
Yeah, and they are finding the mark every so often. Even if they find a guard, there's some force getting through.
Still ahead tonight, a man who we certainly know has dynamite in his fists, Paul Semtex Daly. He headlines here in Liverpool.
You want to see a left hook, watch that man in action.
A bloodied lip on Mason. Evidence starting to show of this arduous battle between these two powerhouses.
Yeah, Arish is finding a home for his jab now.
Oh, both having success On the exit, Mason clipped with the jaw, but on the inside, Arish was quick with the uppercut.
See if Mason can use this crossface to defend this takedown. Arish has got him pinned up against the cage here, so a little less space for him to maneuver out of the way.
Arish taking a moment, it would seem. See how the referee progresses this action.
Yeah, I mean, you know, neither guy able to complete a takedown and really keep someone there for any length of time, which is testament to the wrestling ability of both of these fighters. But Arish needs to try and really change level here and start pulling those legs out like he did in the first round.
Well, he's trying to soften up that leg by throwing knees just over the top of the kneecap into the soft tissue on the inner thigh.
Let's go, more.
Rich Mitchell, referee, urging more action.
Yeah, I mean, Mason's so strong in the upper body. He's trying to frame off on the face if he gets a chance to bring a knee up in that position.
Get your fingers out of that cage. Fingers out of the cage.
Well, he's shoveling under, pushes off. Ali Arish in his corner are really calling him forward. And Mason comes forward with intention. Oh, he throws I think the first kick of the fight.
Yeah, a little inside kick, just trying to take Arish's attention off the hands for a moment.
Well, Arish with a quick right hand. Mason still with a high guard deep into this fight. 2 minutes left to tick out.
Mason needs to start just keeping the tempo
Oh,
up.
that was a horribly tough, thudding leg kick. Really got the shin to the meat.
I mean, Arish is having success on the feet. He is landing. As you say, it's a very awkward style he has, but you know, the same goes for him. If he can start putting some combinations together, this third round is really going to be a tough one.
Yeah, you don't get points for it looking pretty.
Good takedown defense from Mason, just turning and stripping the leg again.
Mason needs to make sure that this isn't completed. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, Arish just completing, but you can see Mason's immediately out and back up to his feet.
Mason needs to turn it on now with one takedown in the books. If that counts, Minoda Mason sprung back up very quickly indeed, but he really does need to score some decent points on the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, it's a bit...
Put some distance between them on paper.
Oh, and Arish landing on the feet there, a couple of big punches getting through. He's got the ankles again. Look for him to pull the hips away here.
Two very experienced fighters. They know exactly what needs to be done. They're going to have to dig very, very deep. Who wants this more? Is it Arish trying to redeem his record here, or is it Jack the Stone Mason in a purple patch looking to make a statement for title contention?
Oh, and Arish has worked his way almost to Mason's back.
Last 25 seconds. Things are getting desperate out there.
Yeah, Mason's got to get some space and just throw some hands in, or either that or one big lost attempt at a takedown from himself.
It's just out-muscling one another at the moment. Oh, a shot there from Mason. It's a clash of heads as well, I think.
Yeah, and Arish picks up a single, but you know where Arish has had a lot of success? It's going in for the takedowns, and as he abandons the takedowns, throwing some shots of his own, and those have been very, very successful shots. Well, so, I mean, this is a tough one for the judges.
Yeah, it's on the exit. It's as we see here, he pushes his opponent up against the fence and knows when he's getting out and just throws off of that foot, pivots round, lands a shot. For me, I think that Ali Arish just turned the heat up a little bit more in that third round.
Yeah,
that could be a telling factor on those scorecards.
Either way, it's going to be very, very close. I wouldn't want to be judging this fight. I think maybe Arish just the slightly busier. He landed a good stand-up exchange as well, where Mason was forced to cover for a few seconds. But boy, is this a tough one.
Difficult for both guys. Late notice stand-in Ali Arish. Late change of opponent for Jack Mason. But who managed to put it together in those final moments when it really counted? Only a few more moments left to wait as we see the MC, Joe Martinez, primed with microphone. Let's hand it over to him, and he will see and tell us how the judges have rendered this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards, and all 3 judges see it the same, 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision from Manchester, England, Ali, the Terminator Arish.
So Ali Arish does in fact redeem his record. He is now 1-1 at Cage Warriors. The risk of coming in at late notice pays off, and he'll be very happy with that textbook display. Very Ali Arish indeed.
Yeah, and moving to 20-2. I mean, it's a 9-fight winning streak for him. Sky's the limit for him in this division.